Citation, AS.CA. 5-MeU DMT Warning. The Entheogen Review. Winter Solstice 1999 84, 136-7. I know someone who had a severe and prolonged response to a vaporized 20 mg dose of 5-MeU DMT. This person had done all the usual entheogenic substances for some years and was careful and intelligent. She had done her research, and when offered this dose by a good friend, she agreed to do it but questioned the amount, as she felt that it should be 5 to 10 milligrams. Her friend assured her that he had done it, and others too, many times without problem. Immediately on ingesting, she became unconscious for half an hour, then came round groggy and remembering nothing. The sitter encouraged her to walk and eat something, however this was difficult for her. From that time on she experienced difficulty in sleeping, fear upon closing her eyes, and 3 nights later awoke at 3:30 a.m. in the grip of a very severe, intense, and frightening panic attack. These attacks continued nightly, with nausea, vertigo, and heart palpitations during the day. Ativan, lorazepam, was prescribed and later Klonopin, clonazepam. Her doctor did a full check and said that her blood pressure was elevated, but that she had no apparent physical problems. Her symptoms persisted for 8 weeks. Normally this person has slight, intermittent asthmatic symptoms around cats and mold. On coming round from the 5-MeU DMT overdose, and for the 8 weeks following it, she experienced breathing difficulties that usually occurred at night and when having panic attacks. This person is not unduly sensitive, was taking no medications, and had not eaten or drunk anything untoward. In fact, she had fasted the day before. Acupuncture was useful in the latter part of the 8 weeks, but the Klonopin was essential in controlling the symptoms. I have read many things about this material and even spoke with Charles Grob, who I know. No one had heard of such a prolonged reaction, until now, and it occurred to me that the Entheogen Review might like to let readers know that great care should be taken with the dosage of 5-MeU DMT. Dr. Grob did say that if the blood pressure goes up too much during the session, it could precipitate a stroke. My friend was a very healthy woman of 59. I do hope this may be of help to others. Information and warnings should be made available, and I feel that this is a volatile and unpredictable material. AS.CA. People do seem to have quite varied reactions to 5-MeU DMT, from mild to severe, but this is the first time that we have heard of after effects lasting for 8 weeks. When trying any new compound, it is advisable to start with a low dose, and gradually work one's way up. In the case of very potent materials, such as 5-MeU DMT, great care must be taken to make sure that the dose is accurately weighed, and this can be difficult if one doesn't own a scale that weighs with a 1 to 2 mg accuracy. 20 mg would definitely be an overdose for most people, and we agree that it is important to report the situation that you described as a warning to others to be extremely careful with dosing. Read the 2009 update to this report. I was the person mentioned in a previous 5-MeU DMT report that was originally published in the Entheogen Review in 1999, some 8 weeks after the event took place. Some 10 years later, I am following up on this. At the time the first account was written, I was not to know that I would continue to have severe symptoms, that continued for some 6 years. To this day I still have some breathing problems, albeit very mild ones, and carry an inhaler everywhere. The panic attacks, breathing problems and vertigo continued, as did the high blood pressure. I had persistent upper respiratory infections, requiring 2 rounds of antibiotics, and my doctor referred me to a respiratory specialist, who prescribed various medications. Several months later, while staying with a friend, my breathing worsened and my friend took me to the emergency room where I received a nebulizer treatment and a prescription for prednisone. Altogether I must have spent several $1,000s in medical fees. I did not have insurance. I continued to take Klonopin every few hours, and if I woke up in the night, to keep the panic attacks at bay. I was working as a caterer and had to accept jobs. It was very difficult to maintain stamina and I had to rely on staff as I tended to collapse halfway through a job. When I did not have to work, all I could do was rest at home, and I remember feeling so weak that I could not even consider taking the garbage out, and I had to wait until I felt I could walk downstairs and out of the apartment building to the dumpster. Reading the original account, I realized that it did not say that as soon as I inhaled the substance, within about 3 seconds, there was a huge bang in my head, which I likened to a bomb going off, and that is the last thing I remember until I came round, wheezing loudly and completely disoriented. I gradually phased out the Klonopin over 2 years or so, but still had to take it occasionally. I have no idea where I went when I was out, but I feel as if I had a near-death experience and that I may have stopped breathing for an instant. For a long time, I was frightened that I would never recover. I am very grateful to be as well as I am now, and after some time, I was able to work therapeutically with MDMA to process the experience. I am all in favor of adventure and experimentation, but I feel that the importance of appropriate dosage cannot be stressed enough. More is not necessarily better.